like these people not who they are. She did the same thing with Luna. Now she doing the same thing with Sheila. I said she definitely meant she was gonna murder Taylor. She definitely meant it. And had she walked in on these folks hugging once again, he all up behind her, touching on her and all this other stuff, she would have got handled right then and there. Nah, hold on, y'all. But yeah, Lee wanted Sheila to say that she was just blowing off steam when she said she murdered Taylor. And I think she said she not the same person she used to be or whatever. I said that's not a no. That's not a no. You definitely was planning on it. You definitely gonna do it. You definitely gonna try anyways. You definitely gonna try. But aside from that, let's see what else. What else? With Taylor and Deacon, he was just trying to get her to open up. I said, is she the therapist or is you? Is she the therapist or is you? But yeah, I said this would have been a perfect time for Sheila to do a pop-up. Deacon had his hands all on Taylor's face. He all up behind her, comforting her and stuff like that. And I said, what the world going on? And Taylor was still blaming Brooke more than she was blaming Ridge. She was saying something about had she, she always thought that, having morals and being a good person, all this other stuff, that, it'll pay off in the end. But Brooke, she got her way. And she just kept saying, Brooke this, Brooke that. And I was like, but Ridge is the one that made the choice. He's seen her 1,000 freaking times do everything that she gonna do in the future. Do everything that she gonna do in the future. Hold on. He done seen her. She done cheated. She done lied. She done been sneaky. She done did a whole bunch of stuff, and he still chose her. He still chose her, and you still making excuses for him. Still making excuses for him. What was the other thing? I think it's two more things. Oh, Katie told Donna about Hope and Liam being engaged, and Hope and Liam ended up telling Brooke at the end of the episode that they get married. But nothing too much happened, y'all. Same old same, just a different freaking day. I don't even think I got that many notes. I think at the beginning of the episode they showed Hope, Liam, and Belle. They was basically celebrating the fact that, her parents are reunited. Hope and Liam getting married once again. Katie ends up telling her sister that Hope's future is bright, so I'm assuming that she was gonna tell her. She didn't tell until Brooke got a text message and she ends up leaving. Hope ended up texting Brooke to come to the house and stuff like that. They had something to tell her. So she left, and that's when she starts showing or implying that a ring on the finger and stuff, trying to tell Donna. I think I'm catching a cold again. Yeah, excuse me. Telling Donna that Hope and Leon getting married or whatever, and they were just happy about it. What else? That's all that happened with them. Who we got next? Brooke, Donna, and Katie. I already said how they were just talking about Hope and her line, having her line back and stuff. Lee and Sheila, they were still having a conversation. Lee wanted Sheila to say that she was just blowing off steam when she said that she murdered Taylor. So she took her precious time saying, I'm not the same person anymore. Girl, please. You definitely meant it. And I said, now Lee, you can't be this foolish now. It'd be different if they, was just like, I murder you or something like that, and they had never done nothing like that before. But this girl done murdered 2 people, ain't it? Then they said she murdered 2 people or 3. I said she doing the same thing she did with Luna over here, making excuses for her and stuff. Same thing I ain't gonna say she making excuses for Sheila, but she was talking about some blowing out steam. She definitely meant it. But she ended up telling her how, she's not the same person anymore, and it's all because of Deacon. And she was just trying to encourage her about Deacon and the fact that they was gonna, work things out, and Taylor was gonna help. She's a good person. She's good at what she does. She's gonna help herself to your man. Now, I don't know. So far, it looked like that's where they headed. But by the end of the episode, they didn't kiss or nothing. They just looked like they was about to kiss. But yeah, let's see. Deacon tries to get Taylor to open up about how she feel about Ridge and Brooke reuniting and how she basically got the short end of the stick. So she kept on going on and on about Brooke this, and once again, the stuff about morals. How she always thought that, having morals would pay off in the end and stuff like that, and being a good person and all this other stuff. And apparently it didn't, because Brooke won. I said, well, she not wrong, because they did. When you're younger, they tell you stuff like that, like, oh, you have morals and you be respectful and you treat people how you want to be treated. But I always said it. I said, it puts a big old target on your back. It puts a big old target in the middle of your forehead. Now, that don't mean that you got to go being mean or not have morals or nothing like that. But at the same time, I feel like we've been sold a load of freaking baloney. So she's not wrong about that. But yeah, I was like, but to me, out of that whole little scene where she was talking about the situation, she was more focused on Brooke. She was like, Brooke hadn't gotten in the way that basically her and Ridge would be together. And I was like, man, no, no. She was talking about how she used her sexuality and stuff like that. But you went upstairs. Then you go upstairs. Now I don't think they slept together that episode. Then you go upstairs with this man, knowing that he was in a relationship with Brooke. Then you sit on his lap. Wasn't that inappropriate? I don't think Morris was included on that, girl. But yeah, that's all they was talking about. So she started to get emotional and stuff like that because she thought this time would be different, or she hoped that it would be different. So he came up behind her and stuff. He was hugging her once again. They started doing that thing where they look at each other before they kiss, and he started holding her face, but they kind of pulled back, and they did not kiss. I was waiting on them to kiss, and I was waiting on Sheila to pop up. Because Sheila was trying to text him and texting him, and he not responding. And she was like, where are you? So I'm assuming that she was going to pop up there. Because so far, she been steady popping up there. This the one time she didn't pop up. Now, they didn't do nothing, but at the same time, if you married, you ain't supposed to be having your hands all over people. I don't understand. People making every excuse in the world. I seen people saying how they didn't do anything wrong. They ain't did nothing wrong yet. But aside from the obvious, they didn't do, that. But I was like, him being married, despite it being Sheila, he's still married to us. He ain't got no business touching all on this woman. He ain't got no business all up on her like that. But okay. What else? We already talked about Leah, Sheila, Taylor, Dick, and Brooke got to the house, and that's when they ended up telling her she was happy, and they all hugging each other and stuff like that. Beth planning I about to say funeral. Beth is planning the wedding and the menu and stuff like that, and everybody just happy. I said she gonna rush to the altar now. I think she ended up apologizing, for everything that happened. He ended up assuring her that, this time gonna be different, and how he gonna be committed to her and all this other stuff. But yeah, let's see. She ends up telling him that he's her home and he always will be, and she never stopped loving him, and she hated it took him almost dying for her to realize it and everything. The same thing they've been talking about for the longest. Hold on, y'all. I got a question. How long do y'all think it's going to take before they end up broken up again? I said, look, they don't want. I said, the Logans, I know a lot of people been saying the Logans, well, they ain't what they call it. They call it Hogans. They said they always winning. And I said, well, they don't want. Look, Liam back with Hope back with Liam, and Brooke back with Rich. I said she did all that talk about how she don't want to be like her mama and go back and forth with a man who can't make up his mind and all this other stuff. And look at you. And I said Carter did one thing, well, two things. He did two things because she was mad about him taking to give. She was, Lord have mercy, get it together. She was mad because he decided to take the company back or get the company back or whatever. Then she was mad about the kiss. This man, Leon, done stepped out, cheated, and everything else. And here you are. Everybody just act like Carter did something so wrong, and he just was the enemy and stuff. And I don't like the way they tried to spin it or whatever. But they said this week that Daphne's supposed to react to the engagement in front of Carter, and I don't know what that's going to lead to, but, it's over with now. And they saying that Finn and Steph is supposed to be at odds again. Why did they say it was? I don't know. They said Luna's supposed to get out of jail. It was something. What did they say? I don't know, but they saying that Steph is supposed to take out her frustration on Finn and they supposed to break up. I don't know how true that is, but sometimes when they be saying stuff supposed to happen, it do. But that's it. That's all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day and be safe.